Welcome to the Houston Huddle, where knowledge meets the game. Three voices, every angle and beyond the headlines. Xavier Houston is a sports encyclopedia of knowledge, with a deep inside look at the recruiting landscape, from prospects to pipelines. He sees the whole board. Simeon Houston brings it play by play, thought by thought, breaking down the game with logic, clarity, and a deep understanding of how all the pieces fit together. And rounding out the huddle, Martin Houston, national champion, two-time SEC champion, with insight forged in the field of play, with an unmatched passion for sports, leadership, and life. Together, they take you from the locker room
to the field, to inside the huddle. Three voices, every angle,
beyond the headlines.
This is the Houston Huddle.
Now it's time to lock in.
It's time for the huddle. The Houston Huddle.
The Houston Huddle.
It's time for the huddle. The Houston Huddle.
Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and share on your favorite social platform. And let's get in the game.
Let's get in the game. It's now time for the Houston Huddle. Glad you are with us this evening. It's a beautiful Friday. We're live, local, ready to get things rolling. Actually, we're worldwide. Actually, it's not just local. It's all over the landscape, and we are so glad to have you on with us. Jump in, and maniacs, if you happen to be tuning in, jump in on the comments. And also, we just welcome all of you out there that love sports, specifically love the University of Alabama. We got a great show lined up for you. We will hit the University of Alabama in this spring football kickoff edition. We're going to talk about some new numbers. Is the new numbers going to be new swag, new way of doing things for the Alabama Crimson Tide? Of course, there's been some news on the basketball hardwood with recruiting and with Bama having a big game coming up. Also, spring practice. It is all about the QB battle, or at least that's what everybody else is making it about. But I want to see who's going to be the top players. Who's going to be that guy? Who's going to be that dude, that dog that jumps up, jumps out? And we are going to break down the quarterback. And when we talk about the quarterback position in Alabama, we're actually going to take a little jaunt around the SEC a little bit as well. Look at some of the other quarterbacks. I mean, it seemed to be some dudes on these other teams. I mean, we saw what the quarterback did at Vanderbilt. I mean, can some of these other teams get that same type? Ole Miss, interesting with them. Will their quarterback be there? Will they have multiple quarterbacks? I mean, because the kid from Auburn went there, but is he still there? Is he on standby? What's going on? So we're going to break down that quarterback conversation as well. Hey, like we remind everybody, man, if you listen to the Martin Houston show, you get this all the time. And we on the Houston Huddle, we are people. We're football, family, and faith. And so I want to remind you that this is a day that the Lord has made. Let's rejoice and be glad in it. Take some time today to know someone, love someone, serve someone. Be the difference you want to see in the earth today. We're live on Friday night. We'll be playing it back on Sunday. So if you happen to be tuned in right now on Sunday. Uh, you can always interact, but know that Sunday, if you're listening live on Sunday, it is a playback edition of the Houston Huddle. What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Doing good, doing good.
Doing well, doing well. Can't
All
complain.
right, let's get it going. As we talked about, let's hit the basketball really quick. Um, as Alabama have a big game coming up with the Auburn Tigers, the Iron Bowl edition of I mean the Iron Bowl, the hardwood edition of the Iron Bowl. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down.
Yeah, Alabama has a big opportunity to sweep the two games against Auburn. I don't remember the last time that's been done, and so that's always big for just morale reasons and such. But also, I'm excited to see what LeBaron Philon, Latrell Wright, and Aiden Holloway in particular, playing against his old team, can Alabama actually hold another guy, i.e., Tahad Pettiford? Can we keep him from going off and dropping 30 points? Can we keep a Keyshawn Murphy from Auburn? Can we keep those players from not having their career night again? So that's what I'm hoping for, that we can have at least a semi good defensive turnout.
Yeah, that's what you want to see from Alabama. Lock it down. Like close out the season with a win. Close it out in Coleman Coliseum. Send the seniors out with a win in their last game. Don't don't let one of these guys go for 30 when they haven't been scoring 20. They haven't been scoring 15. Like whatever it is, figure it out and get it fixed. Because if we go into the SEC tournament and especially March Madness with this issue, it'll be an early exit.
How are the Auburn folks feeling about will a loss on Saturday um, upset the Auburn faithful a little bit and make them feel even more like Bruce Pearl took advantage of them or manipulated them into hiring his son?
Well, he admitted to it, did he not? A couple days ago, he said, "Yes, do I want?" He said, "I think he said, of course I want Auburn to make it to the tournament, and of course I wanted them to hire my son. Nepotism, yes, of course." And so, I mean, for the Auburn fans haven't been happy with the performance Stephen Pearl has put on, I mean, displaying his first season. And I think what Bruce Pearl did was absolutely wrong. I mean, you shouldn't do that. He knew exactly what he was doing. They didn't have a chance or an opportunity to do a coaching search. The players barely had time to go. It was too late for the players to leave to go find a good home. So Bruce Pearl knew exactly what he was doing when he retired when he did.
And hey, I ain't got a problem with nepotism. The Houston Huddle, baby. It's me and my two boys, and I'm proud of it. But at the same time, if I was beholden to an organization, I would feel different. This is our creation. The Martin Hughes Show is my creation. I own the rights to the Martin Houston Show. Uh, I think it, like I said, I think it could sour on him. I think he expected better results, and it just keep the smooth transition. And I think losing to Alabama, the reason I bring it up now, I hadn't said anything all season, is I think it's been okay. They haven't been totally out of whack. But if their season ends and their tournament ends, hopes end, and their NIT and Alabama is the one that put that nail in the coffin, I think it adds conversation and fodder to the off season.
It 100% does. I mean, you wait till September to retire. leave it. Like the school year started, they're stuck where they're at. The players, it was dirty. It was low down because of what you said. Nepotism isn't necessarily a bad thing, but when you hold other people hostage due to the nepotism, is where it's bad. It gets to the point to where you're not. Yeah, you're giving somebody in your family an opportunity, and I think that's what every parent wants. I know you want to do that for us and our sisters. I want to do that for my son and my daughter, but I don't want to screw anybody else over in the process of
Right,
doing it.
right.
Yeah,
And
I,
that's what
well,
Bruce Pearl did.
when you do it in that type of way where you force somebody's hand, like X was saying, it leaves a bad taste in their mouth. I think this has actually hurt his legacy at Auburn. I mean, Bruce Pearl couldn't do anything wrong at Auburn. Then after this, after what happened with Steven and them, especially if they don't turn it around next year and
yeah,
continue to go on a downward trajectory, he totally ruined and messed up a good thing. Because I mean, Auburn basketball has been great the past 10 years
yeah.
under Bruce
So
Pearl, and so to change that is
yeah,
messed
it'll
up.
be interesting to see. With that said, let's quickly get thoughts on just quick thoughts on the game. What's Alabama 3-point shot for the game? What's the three things that they need to do if they're going to win?
Defense, play defense. One, two. Make your shots. Make you don't have to shoot 50% from three, but if you're getting wide open shots, make your shots. And then Aiden Sherrill staying out of foul trouble for me.
I go ahead, go ahead, Xavier.
Keep the rebounds respectable. I don't expect Alabama to necessarily win the battle, but keep it close. In that around five range is where I think like don't let them get closer to having a 10 rebound advantage. Keep it around five. Two, Aiden Sherrill, he's got to play strong and play smart. Three, good night, like we said. Don't let one of these 12-point per game guys go for 28 to 35.
Yeah, you definitely don't want that. And you know the fun answer, file on. No, but he needs to get his. But I'm gonna say Holloway, and I'm gonna say rebound, and I'm gonna say 3 pointers, 3 pointers, 3 pointer. That's my 3 point shot. Of course, I could have easily thrown in Aiden Sherrill. I could have, him not getting in foul trouble. But I think that they just need to play their type of ball and don't have any type of just bad defensive lapses. And when I'm saying defense, I'm talking about defensive defense on the players and protect the defensive boards and don't give up a bunch of offensive rebounds.
Absolutely.
So, and Samuel Pittner said Tennessee sent the big boys out to Aiden, and he handled it. Jacob Powell said, he he he. Hey, Jacob, make sure that Jesus got that wheel now. He's driving. He said he's just gonna pray Jesus take the wheel. But we appreciate you. We appreciate you being a part of it, guys. Let's answer P. Field's question before we transition here. He said, "Do they're sub 500, and do we think that he's gone after the season?" After
I
the season.
They're
I
six.
don't.
They're 16-14. They lose tomorrow to Bama. They're 16-15. They make the
I
turn.
think he's talking SEC, Xavier.
No. I know they're under. No, I'm talking about overall. They're 7-10 in SEC. Yeah, they're
That's
under
what he's
500.
talking about.
Yeah, no, but I was just speaking more about do they get rid of Pearl after the season? If they lose to Alabama, they're 16-15. If they lose first round of the tournament, they're 16-16. They didn't. Bruce, your scheme might have failed, You wanted to get out the door at the last second to usher your son in. And if you finish at 16-16 after you didn't allow them to do an interview process, it would not surprise me if they gave him the boot.
Well, with the way Auburn fire coaches and have coaches on payrolls, it wouldn't surprise me. But I think they would make a mistake. I think
Yeah,
Pearl, as an assistant, has been their secret weapon to Bruce Pearl's success. Actually, um,
he was the
so
defensive mastermind.
yeah, I just hate and like I said, I don't have any dislike for him. Um, I wish they let him go through the process because he may have got the job outright legit, or he may have gotten a better job because you all know who Bruce Pearl's protege is, right? He's killing it at Florida, right? Didn't he spend a
Yeah.
little time at Auburn, Golden? So
Yeah,
and spend some time not just at Auburn, but some time with Pearl. So I don't know. I hate it, but real quick, what's your score? You guys got a score prediction?
oh goodness.
You remember this is if you're watching this on the replay, you'll be able to call us out.
Okay, I got Alabama 94, Auburn 82.
Mm.
I don't think it'll be that high scoring. I got Alabama 86, Auburn 77.
Oh, they're gonna break the century mark tomorrow.
Mine.
Auburn is. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Alabama. I have Alabama getting 97. I wouldn't be surprised if they hit 100, but 97. Auburn about 88. So I think it's about a 9, 10 point win for Alabama. So, all right. With that said, X, before we go to football, there's been a little recruiting news that's happened around the Crimson Tide. What's the latest there?
Yeah, talking about the hardwood, Alabama landed a big time recruit, another top 30 recruit in Jackson Richardson. He's a 6'6, 205 pound shooting guard, small forward. He is the son of Jason Richardson, who had a lengthy NBA career, played with the Magic, with the Suns,
All headed,
with
dude.
Yeah, Dart. Yeah,
Duncan, yeah, and with the Warriors. And the interesting thing is, I didn't know this until Jason made a post about it. His older son, Jace,
mm,
was somebody that Alabama was recruiting real heavy in the 24 class. Well, he ended up following in his dad's footsteps to Michigan State, and now he plays for the Orlando Magic as well. But Preston Murphy
mm.
is the reason why we were ever in on Jace and why we landed Jackson. They Preston Murphy was the basketball player Jason Richardson looked up to coming through high school, and every wore Preston Murphy's number in high school. So this is Jason came out and said, "Hey, this is a relationship that has been 30 plus years in the making. If it wasn't for Preston Murphy, I don't know if Jace would have ever considered Alabama, and he's the reason why Jackson's here because of the relationship that he was able to build. And he mentioned Coach Oates as well, checking in on Jax while he was sick and everything over the last month or so. But Preston Murphy is the secret sauce and the secret weapon of this recruiting coaching staff, which is now in a top 10 class. And just so everybody knows, Alabama's still in position for Caleb Holt, who's the number one combo guard in this class, who is originally from the state of Alabama.
Yeah.
Any
I
thoughts on
mean,
that, Simon?
yeah, just super excited to get a player of Jackson Richardson's ability. I mean, I was doing some research on him, and one of the guys who did the recruiting services and stuff have him as the most athletic recruit in this class, and so that's one of those things. High flyer, he can shoot the ball too, so it'll be a great addition. A maybe a little bit smaller version of Brandon Miller esque high flyer ability.
Oh, he's a better jumper than Brandon.
which is
It's
crazy.
interesting. I posted about the commitment, and somebody said we need to go get us. And they didn't call them convicts, but they said we need to go get us some guys from JUCO. I can't remember what they called them, but they
In
were just saying,
basketball?
huh?
In basketball?
Yeah, they were talking about that can bang with the big guys inside. So uh,
Now,
I'm
but
telling you, if Nate Oates figures out how to crack that nut, like to
a
get a
big
legit
Yeah,
like to me, Big O was kind of that way last year. Like
yeah,
if he had been able to be in the system a couple of years, I think you would have saw what we want to see because I think he was a difference maker. Just that intimidating size. Just imagine what Alabama would be this year if they had those two. They would wear big men out because one time you're having to bang with Big O, and then you'd have to be bang with Cheryl. If they could figure out, if they could figure out how to crack that code and just get a couple. I'm not talking about guys that just can bang. Y'all remember San Diego State when we played
yeah,
out? They did
yeah,
those
oh
guys
yeah,
like those guys weren't like these super talented, gonna be all world NBA players. But man, they were men under the board. And you think he gonna ever crack that code from a
I don't know.
recruiting standpoint?
it's hard.
I
It's
don't know,
hard to do
but
that.
I
Do
I
those
think it's
guys even where do those guys exist at? Where do those guys play at? Are they playing in high
they're
school, AAU, or are they playing
Not
overseas? Where do these guys come from? Think about
they're
that
pl-
for a
they're
second. I
playing
mean,
tight end and defensive end in now. I'm that's why there's not as many of those
no,
guys
I'm talking
anymore.
about Xavier. I'm talking about these. You're
I'm
talking
you
being
about
talking
the
about
honest.
dude got a
guys that you're
6'10",
talking about the
6'11".
guys that
Yeah,
used to be bangers like Barkley. They're now playing football. I'm talking about where is
6'10",
Tennessee and
6'11".
where is Florida and Tennessee and UConn and Arizona. Where are they
Purdue.
finding these big guys? Where are
Well,
they
if you look,
finding them? Why can't we crack that code?
if you're looking at it, most of those big guys aren't Americans.
That's what I'm saying. Is Alabama too far for a foreigner?
Be an interesting
Yeah,
adjustment.
but but the interesting thing is,
Samuel said
I
straight out
think
of
Cheryl
Columbus.
comes back. I think Cheryl comes back next year, and you've got the new Big O Charles, and I think he might be what we're talking about. But then
Yeah,
he gets hurt, but he's getting big in his guards.
yeah, but that ain't
Big,
gonna win. I'm telling
I,
you.
but
Yeah,
I appreciate. I understand all of that, but
yeah,
it's like saying that he's getting big in the guards is like saying Alabama's going to be awesome in wide receivers and running backs this year. It won't matter if you don't have an O line. It
yeah,
won't matter,
yeah,
right? I mean,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm just, I don't know.
You're
And
not wrong.
I don't know. I hope we can crack it because I think if he cracks that nut,
It,
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 I think Nate
Absolutely.
Oates, because he can coach, and I know sometimes we get disappointed and frustrated and stuff watching Alabama, but nobody has won as many games in the SEC since he stepped foot in the SEC. He has won
Which is
more SEC
insane.
games than anybody.
yeah.
Period.
I
Yeah.
really wanted the Ratliff twins. I think they
So,
could have been that something special.
right.
Theo Ratliff's boys that are
But
going to
would they
UNC.
going to address what we talking about?
I think they could have.
How big are they?
1, 6, 11, 220.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is
Don't give up on them.
6'11".
There's a Christian
Uh,
song where He said, "Don't you give up on me." Maybe we get
Six
him after
eleven
they go
two.
somewhere else. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
they're
Uh,
both 6'11", listed at 6'11", 220.
I didn't realize they were that tall. Wow.
yeah,
Uh,
I think you just forget, like, as like you said, Alabama. Nobody since Nato has been the coach has won as many SEC games as him, and so I think we forget that, like, we were praying and super excited just to make it to the NCAA tournament or
we
get a
used to have
good
to
seed
wait,
in.
like,
Yeah, we
like
wouldn't. It'd be Selection Sunday before we knew Alabama was going to be in the tournament or not,
we were
and
sweating.
it was
And
always last first four out, last four in. It was never we say.
Like we're talking about whether we're gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4 seed, right? So it's definitely changed. All right, guys, that kind of wraps up the first half of the program. Let's just take a quick uh, catch our breath break, and then we'll be back on the other side. And we're gonna switch over in about 60 seconds to a little bit of spring ball. All right, welcome back. Got the palate wet a little bit. Uh, let's talk a little football. Hard to believe spring practice is up on us. And one of the first things we're going to have a fun time doing is checking out the numbers. Checking out the numbers. Checking out the numbers. Uh, we're going to see who's changed numbers and who hasn't. Now, I don't keep up with stuff like that, but there was a couple guys that made some interesting moves, and I'm trying to see if they were making a statement. Right? Like sometimes you get a number and it's like that's just it's just I just want to blend in. Sometimes you make a move to a number and you're trying to make a statement. So I'll let you guys start off with kind of the number things, and then I'll pepper it in with those that I think where they trying to make a statement.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think it's really really interesting when you look at it. And this is going to hit guys who change numbers, and for the freshmen that are coming in, transfers coming in, that you can know who you're looking at when you start to see clips from spring ball. Yonze Pierre switches from 42 to 0. Ryan Williams made not only a number change, but a name change. Ryan Coleman Williams is wearing number 1. Lottie Brooks wearing 3. You have Sedarian Morgan rocking number 8. You got EJ Crowell coming in with 13. You've got Jair Edwards rocking number 10, one of the big true freshmen. Xavier Griffin rocking 11. That's just to name some of them, and there's a whole list of guys. You can go check it out on any of Alabama's websites to knock in that. Sim, was there a couple more that stood out to you?
nothing
No.
nothing that piqued my interest too. too much, but I think for me, Jan Pierre going to number 0, I think that was a statement piece because Deontay Lawson wore number 0. I wonder if like 0 is becoming like the captain of the defense's number. I just wonder if that's like a trend because I
Yeah.
mean that we'll see going forward is the maybe the captain
Wasn't
gets
he
number
Alabama's
0.
first zero?
Deontay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was he the first person to wear zero?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
So you think Yunze Pierre was making a statement?
Yeah, I think that's kind of might become tradition. Who knows? Because I'm sure Janze Pierre is going after this year if he stays healthy. So I don't know if it'll continue after this past year, but it might be an interesting trend to see.
Yeah, I think that I definitely think it was a statement. Yeah.
I had not that had not actually crossed my mind that him going to zero, but it would, especially if he thinks he's gonna be captain, and I'd be shocked. Well, man, being a captain on this defense, there's some dudes you're gonna have to beat out
I,
to be the captain on this
I
team.
don't know if it's necessarily, oh, I'm going to be the captain,
No, I'm
but it's the, hey, I'm the top dog in the front seven,
yeah.
and I think he fits that.
All right. Ryan Williams. Was the Ryan Williams to number one? Was that a statement? Uh, did he wear one in high school? Is he trying to get away from Deuce is loose? Was he just trying to say, man, I want a clean slate?
All of that,
Or
I think.
or was it an NIL move? Was it an NIL move to get more jersey sales? I used to accuse Kobe and LeBron of saturating the market with whatever number it is. I've said this for years. Then they changed numbers, and everybody who wants to be the old dude sitting up there with, three numbers ago, right? So did was this also a money making move that he gets part of the jersey sales as part of his contract? All new jersey sales, if you want to
And,
be up, especially now with the name change.
All of it.
and yeah, so Ryan Williams wore number one in high school. That was his high school number, and I think when he went to two at Bama, it was to create a distance and a gap between Jamison Williams, who had just wore number one a couple years earlier, and it's
So,
you
so
know,
he wore number two for NIL.
oh, I definitely think that plays into it. I'm not going to front,
Yeah.
that, but
And
getting
so he went to Coleman. He went to Coleman Williams because you can't just come up in there with the Jameis
the
jersey
old
on.
JMO jersey. Now, yeah, Samuel, but D, all the above. I think
Absolutely.
number one is it's a clean slate for him. He gets to shake number two off. He gets to rock his high school number. He's honoring his mom with the Coleman being added to his last name, and it's gonna put money in his pockets.
And is he saying I'm wide receiver one? Is
Ooh,
he
that's.
is
I
he
mean,
saying is he saying y'all better back off me? I'm not a number two or three receiver. I'm receiver one, wide receiver
yeah,
one. Was he that bold in this move? I think it was a little bit of that. I think it's all y'all say A B C D E and F. All right.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. No, I mean, this year has been. I mean, this past 365 days for Ryan Williams has been. Well, Ryan Coleman Williams now is and has been a lot on him. I'm sure there's been a lot of stuff, with him in his personal life, on the field, people talking about him. He's probably never been under this much scrutiny ever.
Ever.
I won't know. I mean, not many 19-year-olds have been, and
Right.
so
Exactly. Yeah.
I think this year this is kind of him like stepping away from what was in the past and him stepping forward into something new.
And Samuel Pittman, I agree with it. I think he needs to come out with a little bit of a attitude.
Some
You know,
juice.
you all made. I had a teammate that went through the name change. You know, Derek Lassick was Derek Owens, then
When
Derek
y'all
Owens
signed.
Lassick, and then Derek Lassick. Um, so I remember him going through that change. But that.
P. Phil says he needs to produce first, or his jerseys will be discounted.
But he
He
did
said,
say
he said,
laugh
but I
out
believe
loud.
in him. I'm sorry, LO, but I believe in him.
Yeah, I was
So
going
at
to say,
least he's
don't
on the
leave
good
people.
side. I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
Don't
P.
Yeah.
leave P
Phillips.
Fields out
You
there.
go,
Hey,
you setting them
Phil
up
did,
a bit.
Oh, my fault, my fault, my fault, my
he
fault.
did
Yeah.
close back up that he believes in him. But yeah, and I think that attitude shift is a good thing. The other one that stood out to me was uh, a wide receiver coming in choosing to wear number 8. Like,
Can,
I
like
love it.
go ahead.
before we get into that, I think Lottie Brooks was intentional too, because who was he compared to all last year?
Where did he go
Wa-
to?
3.
Three.
Waddle. Jalen Waddle.
I think his change was intentional to get a, because everybody said it. Oh, that's Jalen Waddle. He plays just he's creating his own lane. But we've got two wide receivers that I believe that are creating their own lane. And as you were just saying, there's a one wide receiver embracing the legacy of his number. Sam?
Yeah. Yeah. Cedarian Morgan, big body wide receiver. He's been compared to Julio for like his entire high school career, and he goes to Alabama, and of course the number he chooses is number 8. And I think that is, I mean, that is, I love that.
It's,
I absolutely love that from
it's a
him
bold
because
move.
that's him saying, I know who came before me and was wearing this number, but I'm looking to build upon that legacy.
All right. Wow. Anything
But
else from the number standpoint before
oh,
we
100%.
do what now?
There's a superstar true freshman linebacker that decided to go grab a number based off of the guy he was compared to through the entire recruiting process. And that's Xavier Griffin wearing number 11. He was compared to Jahad Campbell by everybody. His ability to play in coverage, his ability to rush the passer, whatever you needed him to do, that's what he was coming out of high school. And that's what Jahad Campbell was, and that was his comp all the way through the recruiting process. So
Hmm.
I think as somebody else embracing the legacy of a number.
All right. So we talked about some of these guys embracing the numbers. Let's kind of do a couple different things really quick. Let's start off with which freshman do you think hit the ground running, and we're talking about in week 1?
Mm, man,
I think
that's a
I'm going to go with the guy brave enough to wear number 8, Cedarian Morgan. We've talked about a lot of these freshmen, and I think there's some other guys that you'll see get an opportunity. But Alabama needs a third wide receiver, a true X wide receiver. And yes, I understand that they brought in Noah Rogers from the transfer portal out of North Carolina State. But if Cedarian is who we think he is, who says that job isn't his by the time we come
Yeah.
out of fall ball?
yeah. I think that's pretty close to one of the only freshmen that I think we expect to have or could have an impact on this upcoming season. I could be drawing a blank on a couple names, but I feel like Cedarian Morgan, just because of the wide receiver room in itself, he has the opportunity. But I mean, I think Coach DeBoer and Grubb have obviously recruited certain players, and they have certain types,
Yeah.
and he fits that type. Derek Meadows fits that type. Noah Rogers is basically another version of Jeremy Bernard. And so I think that will buy him some favor, and he'll probably get on the field this year as well.
Yeah, I can't disagree with the Sidarian uh, comp to Julio and expectation. But really think about it. I think we signed a really talented class, and we're a young team, but I don't know that there's a lot of opportunity for young guys to be in that first rep. But we've seen this coaching staff use young guys that can play.
Mhm.
So we have a lot of guys from last year that were freshmen and sophomore that they're young, but they're going to be ready to be players because they got reps. But think about this: you know how good you're going to have to be as a freshman to sniff the field as a DB. I mean, right?
Mhm.
Outside linebacker, you're
Yeah.
probably not sniffing the field. Based on the JUCO, I mean the transfers on the D line, I don't see like like I think the
Yeah.
transfers are gonna be solid there. Plus Simmons, and I'm talking about first team right now. But in DBs, I
Yeah.
don't know if they're gonna sniff the field. But these other plays, and then I think at the linebacker position, you know,
I
I
think
think
Griffin's the only guy that you see truly probably have an opportunity to get on the field this year, and it's still going to be an uphill battle for him because you have QB Reese, you have Luke Metz, you have Duke Johnson, Abdul Sanders, Caden Jones,
I'm gonna tell you,
Justin Hill. I mean,
Luke Metz. I know we hadn't got to this. Luke Metz might be my sleeper because I'm gonna tell you, and I'm not. This probably not gonna sound good, but he remind me of one of them boys that just know how to play football. He gonna watch film. He gonna study. He gonna be. Y'all remember them Indiana boys? Them Indiana boy linebackers, man, they had no business playing.
I ain't trying to be funny, but
They had no business playing.
where did Luke Metz play a lot last year?
Special
He
teams.
played more than any of the other true freshman linebackers
On
outside
special
of Justin Hill. Special teams.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He's a guy that we don't talk much about, but don't be surprised because he look what little bit
Looks
we don't
good.
always watch those guys when they get their reps, but he looks like a baller. He looks like a baller. So
He reminds me of. I know
Don't
I
do
don't
it.
want to be.
Don't do it.
I'm just gonna say it's similar size, similar build, happen to be the same race. But Luke Kuechly type
that's
of player.
exactly that. I
Luke, I
couldn't
mean,
think of his name. North
but they're
Carolina
six.
made the Hall
Both
of
of them are
Fame this year.
6'3", 230. Both guys that are, I mean, dogs.
Better
Absolute dogs.
athletes than you
I don't guess.
realize.
I ain't even gonna say it. I'm talking about football players.
No,
Yeah,
but I'm just saying Luke
Like
Kuechly was a
and if
better
it's
athlete
racist
than
for me
people
to
gave him
say
credit.
he gonna be another one of them white boy linebackers, I'm gonna have to be called a racist. I just think we're overlooking him.
yep.
I really do. So he kind of my sleeper that could jump up and be one of them
I,
guys
And
that
he changed his number too, didn't he?
I
yep,
don't know. Did he?
To
yep.
number
Went from
No.
4.
But
26 to
guys,
4.
y'all, we talking about freshmen gonna get on the field. Y'all know we didn't even mention the best player in the country.
EJ Crowell.
Yeah, we
That I
telling
love
y'all,
EJ.
I'm telling y'all, we're gonna be talking about that boy in week one.
I love EJ,
It's
but to me,
RB2.
it he
I don't know what he's gonna be, but he's gonna do some stuff. He's gonna do something that his name is gonna be mentioned. He's gonna be
I
that type of player. That doesn't mean he's gonna be a starter. I didn't say which freshman was gonna be a
Is
starter.
he?
I said which one will we talk about in week one. And I think
I mean, yeah. I mean,
I
if
think
you're
he's
talking
too
about
good for us not to for the coaches to see him out there with the other guys and go, this 16-year-old kid belongs.
which is the crazy part, he is 16 years old right now in college playing
Working.
football.
Do what? Do what? Do
What
what
was the
it
last
say?
thing you said, X?
He's a 16-year-old in in college playing Division 1 football. He doesn't turn 17 to this summer.
Yeah, I don't care about his age.
No, I'm just saying that's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I think
We talked about Ryan Williams didn't show up till summer and he had been 17 for a few months. EJ's getting it in there
yeah.
6 months before
No, but
his
that's good
17th
for. I
birthday.
mean,
Yeah.
that's
All right.
that's exciting.
So that's freshman. That's freshman. Who's the other player that's going to jump, regardless of class, regardless of position? Who are some of the guys you think gonna be jumping in week one? that we're going to be
Daniel
talking
Hill.
about?
Daniel Hill. I saw some reports where he's no longer 244, 245. He's down to that 230, 235 range. And I think that for him is, and this is his first spring that he's been healthy. I feel like the last couple of springs he hadn't been able to practice. So I think this year for him, him at 230, he already is a good receiving back, can catch the ball, has good hands. But I think maybe he had better vision and he was just too slow to get to the hole sometimes. And so him at that 230 range, I think he will have much better vision and more explosiveness.
And I'll say on Daniel Hill, um, don't don't think that he may be the only 3 down back we have, which puts him in that place you're talking about, Simeon. In other words, Riley can play every down. All these guys can play every down, but is there a drop off? In other words, like when I used to talk about when I lift weights, like I I was like not first on like any of the lifts. Everybody, somebody beat me in every one of them, like the major lifts, and I was second on every lift by like 5 pounds. And what I'm saying is Daniel Hill. Daniel Hill is a guy that I think he comes to it at least ahead of the other guys in the sense that he can be all of your run plays on first down, any receiving plays on first or second down. He can be the back in the backfield. He can run the screens. He can be the third down guy because he can catch and run. I don't know if any of the other guys you can say that about them for a whole year.
I'm sure he's probably the best pass blocker too.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's
You would
like,
assume that.
yeah. So I
Yeah,
can see that.
I
Who
mean,
you
no,
got, X?
I mean, you can definitely go with anybody in the running back room, but I want to focus on the tight ends and Caleb Edwards and Marshall Pritchett. I think those two guys could be a unbelievable tight end duo if this coaching staff knows how to use them because they both bring a little something different to the table. They both look like they can be decent blockers in the run game as well as being able to catch the ball down the field and stretch it in different ways.
Hey, does Sutter break in since he has a new position coach?
Sutter will be. I mean,
Yeah.
he'll be in the conversation. Josh Ford, I think, will be in the
Danny Lewis is
conversation.
out too.
Danny Lewis.
Poor guy.
Yeah, I don't know what you say. Anyway, let's move on past him because
It's just sad. Yeah.
But I like the
it's
tight end room. I think there's going to be some real growth with Pritchett and Edwards.
all right. Anybody else from the offensive or defensive side that's going to jump out? You think?
Austin Mack. Um,
You guys we haven't talked anything about the offensive line. I know we spent a lot of time on that
yeah.
on the Martin Houston show, but here, who are you looking for from an offensive line standpoint? Who's going to take the lead? Will Michael Carroll be the bona fide leader, or will one of these other guys? He may be the best player, but will one of these other guys be the best player? What do you see happening in that offensive line?
I think Michael Carroll's the vocal leader. Like you can kind of see that in him already. So I think he'll be there from that standpoint. But when you're talking about taking a jump, I really like what I've seen out of Jackson Lloyd from practices to workouts to the little bit of play on the field he got. I think people are sleeping on him. He is an athletic big man that went from playing basketball to being over 300 pounds
Xavier, do
already.
you have a crush on Jackson Lloyd?
I like him.
Man crush on him?
Wow, that's where we going.
Man crush. I mean, 'cause
I'm a fan of him. I'm a fan of him.
I could ask Simeon the same thing about Austin Mack. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, I'll claim it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying.
That's my
You.
quarterback. That's my creative
Jackson
player.
Lloyd is your go-to on the O line, like Simeon's go-to on quarterback is Austin Mack.
Well, he to me Caden
Stand
Proctor
on.
scarred me. Caden Proctor scarred me, and and from what I've seen from Jackson Lloyd, he is the antithesis of what Caden Proctor was. He's just as tall, but he's uber athletic for his size.
Yeah, and P. Fields may not know this. He said hoping Sanders steps up. Sanders is going to be one of the bona fide leaders, but he's out this spring. P. Fields with recovering from a back injury of some sort. So, um, when I look at this team, the O line, there's so many guys. It's kind of hard. I just want to see that unit as a whole kind of be a breakout unit. I want you. I feel like if our offensive line does good against our defense this spring, that's a really, really good sign. Because I
Yeah,
think our defense is. I think our defense, even though we added some new guys, I know we lost James Smith. I think the defensive line is going to be better. I don't know if it'll be deeper, but I think it's going to be better than it was last year. More athletic and more physical. Uh, and then to me, linebacker is kind of one of those things where we want to see who that second linebacker is. We're kind of giving Caleb Woodson a starting job. Question I have for you guys, this and probably going to throw you off uh, when you look at like the wide receiver room, are we sleeping on Derek Meadows?
I think so. I think so because he had made himself a little niche into the offense into the Missouri game, and that completely stunted his
Derailed.
he derailed his freshman year. So I think a little bit. I think it's going to be tough to keep him off the field.
Yeah,
I think Alabama ends up being 5 to 6 deep at wide receiver in some type of rotation. I just don't know how that rotation is going to look because I don't know who's going to line up where.
yeah, it is kind of hard to pick. Like, like
Yeah.
of the transfers, I guess we need to hit them because we've talked about of the transfers. Which one catches the coach's eyes first?
All positions.
Yeah, yeah. Just you can talk about more than one, but yeah, go ahead.
Hmm.
Uh, I'll go defense because I think this is a little easier for me to off the top of the head. I think you look at Caleb Woodson at middle linebacker. I also think you look at the three guys on the defensive line, Desmond Umazulu, Devin Tompkins, and Terrence Green. I think when you look at those three guys and Woodson, because uh, how they play determines on how the defense rolls this year.
Yeah, offensive for me is Racing Delgatti. I think he has a lot to gain, especially with Sanders being out. I think he has the opportunity to solidify himself as the starting center this spring, and I think that role is a huge deal. I mean, he'll have to build relationships with Austin Mack, with Keelan Russell, and so I think if he's able to step up and show leadership, I think he'll catch the coach's eye and be in the starting five really quick.
What's that wide receiver name?
Noah Rogers.
He. It's easy for those skill guys to get noticed when they come in, and then when you look, because there's going to be so much attention on our quarterbacks. I think they're going to have to be slinging it around. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
we can't go into a
Yeah,
spring trying to get a quarterback and throwing it, 50-50 run and pass. Even though we want to establish the run game more this year,
yeah,
you still have to stress test these two quarterbacks as much as you can,
yeah.
in my
I mean,
opinion. And
yeah,
because of that, I think Rodgers may get more opportunities to do it. I think Ford on the other side gets noticed as well because if you see the run game pick up some and it's maybe off tackle outside runs that are having success, Ford has that, at tight end has that chance. Then from the defensive side of the ball, I think you're going to see some fun battles. Think about this. normally when you go into spring, you have the guys who have been there, right? Uh, and they've been waiting on the other guy. They it's like, I'm gonna get you next spring, baby, because that's where it was. I knew who the dogs were on the defense, and we wanted to test each other's manhood, but we also kind of knew each other compared to when we came in as freshmen, and you were wanting to prove to everybody you belonged. Now those things were that's when it was hot. when you were trying to prove you belong and you were trying to win a job, man, and that's Alabama's whole front on both sides of the ball.
Yeah,
I mean,
without a
yeah.
doubt.
it's like all of these guys are going to be there like, I belong here at Alabama. It's not a fluke. I'm not here just because Alabama had guys leave, and I'm going to be the starter.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be
gonna
highly
be.
competitive,
Yeah,
and
you're right.
that's gonna be
Yeah.
real quick though. We haven't talked about it. We've talked about who we thought were gonna be the first five to run out at offensive line. Who's going? Bama normally goes three wide at wide receiver. Who's the first three wide receivers, and where?
Mm.
I think Ryan Williams is one. I think Lottie is two. And I think that third one is the battle
Rogers.
where all these guys are battling. Noah Rogers, Sedarian,
Meadows,
Meadows.
It's
Yeah,
Scott.
gonna be hard to keep those guys off the field though.
yeah.
But I don't know. Is it gonna? Do you think it's gonna turn into the point where it's a rotation, almost like defensive end, outside linebacker, where you're wanting to keep those guys fresh? Because I mean, I think Derek Meadows, Darian Morgan, Noah Rogers, Ryan Williams, and Lottie Brooks. it- It's gonna be hard to keep those guys off the field.
That's what I say. I
And
think it's going to
yeah,
probably be five deep, truly five deep at that wide receiver. And it's going to be interesting to see how they rotate through.
Yeah, who else would be in that in
Rico
that
Scott.
Rico
Rico
Scott.
Scott?
Yeah, they
Don't
they got
don't
him to
don't
come back.
No,
don't
So
no, that's what I'm
underestimate
saying.
don't underestimate his hunger because he
He
got
came back.
supplanted by Lottie last year, and so um, it wasn't that he wasn't good enough. He just had a guy that came in that was better.
are we gonna anticipate the Lottie Brooks sophomore slump? That could. I mean,
Mm,
that could
I,
cause
shake
Rico
things up.
Scott to step up. I mean, I'm not wanting Lottie Brooks to have a sophomore slump
I
at all,
understand, but we talked
but
about it
but
earlier.
we talked. There's several great wide receivers, and we think he can be that great, one of those great wide receivers at Alabama, and those guys all had
All had slumps.
all had a down sophomore season. So could that be in the mind of? That's probably not in the mind of the coaches at all, but that could be something to look forward in the fall.
All right. Anything else? Well, I guess we haven't hit any thoughts on the specialist. Alabama upgraded in those areas. I don't spend a lot of time to those guys till this season, but have you guys spent much time there? That was the one area that I thought we should have made a coaching change, but we didn't, and
But
but we
we
made a lot of
upgraded.
we
Yeah,
made a
go
lot of
ahead.
roster changes.
Yeah, I think Adam
Yeah.
Watford from Marshall. From if he kicks the same way he kicked at Marshall, Alabama fans will love him.
Yeah, I mean, you have Lorcan, Quinn, who transferred in, and I think that's going to be an interesting guy to look at as well. But it's just got to be a level of consistency. I think Talty's days are numbered as Alabama's starting kicker if one of these other guys can come in and be efficient.
Hmm. Okay. All right. I don't like I said. I don't have a lot to add to that particular conversation because I don't spend a lot of time on those guys until it's that time. Uh, what about DeBoer's coaching staff? And he added a lot of coaches to the roster, and then he added analysts as well. And all these analysts now have the ability to get on the field. Is this potentially Alabama's best coaching staff in 5-6 years. I mean, 4, 5, 6 years. Not, I mean, I'm not talking about head coach, but like the
Staff.
position coaches. Are we really potentially looking at some of his best coaches, from coordinators to position coaches?
I think so. I it doesn't hurt, and these guys that Coach DeBoer and company have brought in all have proven experience from where they've been in the past. And so I think maybe, like you said, this coaching bench, I think it's a great staff and will allow the more individual players to receive better coaching. So I think it's a better team as a whole.
Yeah, I wish there were a couple more changes made, but I
What,
love the changes
what
that
other change you want to see?
Uh-oh, tell them.
I think when you look at the special teams coordinator, I think that was something that should have been changed. I like Coach G, Robert Gillespie, but I feel like we might need some new blood at the running back coach position. Um, I've heard some things about the way he recruits running backs that if some of these guys hadn't been, I want to play for Alabama type guys growing up, Kevin Riley and EJ Crowell. Kevin Riley was committed to Miami until signing day. EJ Crowell might have ended up somewhere else if they weren't local kids that wanted to come here. And then you look at
But
Daniel
is
Hill
he? That's
here.
recruiting. We have the best group of running backs we've had in about 3 or 4 years. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
so the question is, I know you're
And
saying about recruiting, but we still got him. So
but the development as
what
well.
about
Like,
his coaching? Is that what we're missing? Is
well,
that
he's
part of the
been here
run game?
since.
We sometimes forget that we had Burton Burns there for so long that we kind of got spoiled.
Yeah, I mean, because when you look at it, he's been here since 2021, and think about how we feel about the running backs since 2021. B Rob was our last 1,000-yard rusher, and he wasn't coached up by Gillespie. We see it's been the guys with McClellan and Roydell Williams and Jam and losing Justice. Like, how we feel about the running backs isn't positive up under him.
I agree. I was just saying is, but you were talking about recruiting, and I'm like, but we still got those guys. So if that was the problem, that's different than him not being able to coach. Uh, but okay, I hear what you're saying. So
Yeah,
hey, let's
but
take
overall,
another.
I like the changes that were made with the coaching staff, and I think it is probably the best staff in 5-6 years.
And I think overall, I think he's also building his bench. I think he's getting guys in who learn his system, because you saw what happened this year. He needs to be able to um, replace these guys without having to replace his culture every time, reteach his culture. And so I think he's getting some. I think he's getting some bench strength in terms of his coaches as well. But let's hope that they're good, really good, and they can help with, because they can coach. Even analysts can coach during the week now. So there's
Yeah,
not this limit. So we got a lot of guys. Hopefully, they got a few analysts going to be over there helping Clem and Owens with that old line and tight end room. But hey, we're gonna just take a really quick break here. We'll come back on the other side, and we're gonna do just around the SEC. We're gonna talk. I know y'all like, they hadn't even mentioned the quarterback position. That's what's up next. We're gonna talk about Alabama's quarterback, as well as, is the SEC potentially coming into the year where they have the best quarterbacks in the country. That was what it was supposed to be last year, but a lot of those jokers just fell off the wagon. We'll be back in just a moment. All righty, welcome back in. This will be the last segment we have for the night, and we appreciate all of you jumping in here, being a part of the Houston Huddle. Three voices, man. Every angle and beyond the headlines. You're gonna hear stuff here you're not hearing anywhere else. Like, follow, and share. Be a part of the program. And while you're out there, make sure you make a note, save it on your calendar, mark it down. The Martin Houston Show, Martin Xavier and Simeon, Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 7 each and every day. And every once in a while, we do a little pregame of the Houston Huddle, and you can be a part of that as well. So, all right, guys. With that said, um, quarterback position. That's the big talk. It seems like everybody has got. Now, here's the thing. Xavier, have you decided which guy is your guy? Are you thinking Keelan gonna win the job or Matt? Have you came down on one side yet?
I plead the fifth. Nah, I'm playing. Um, I my front runner right now is Austin Mack,
Right, right, right.
but I do believe Keelan is talented enough to win the job if
All right,
Austin's
stop
thrown.
right there. Stop right there. So Simeon, you have to defend why Austin wins. I mean, Keelan wins the job, and Xavier, you have to defend why Austin wins the job.
I have to defend Keelan.
Yes, you have to tell me why Keelan wins the job over Mac, and Xavier. Since you have a little, you said Max, you're front runner. You go first, but you have to defend Keelan. This may be
You want me to
fun.
defend
This
No, he
may
has
Keelan?
be
to
fun
defend
on.
Austin. He has to
I have to
defend
Yeah,
defend
you have
Austin.
to
Austin.
defend Austin. I'm sorry.
Okay.
This may be a fun segment to do, like like you know, uh,
Across
on
the
all the
board.
positions. Like why why
Yeah,
should why should Justin Hill be in front of Beyonce
You know,
Pierre? Yeah,
Pierre.
right. It makes you think. It makes you really think about your guy and why
Yeah.
your guy is better than the other guy. All right, ready? Go ahead, X.
Yeah, so when you look at Austin Mack, you look at the creative player build. He is the same size as Trevor Lawrence, Josh Allen. So he has the physical size, but he has the tools. He can sling it.
Is he
He
Justin Herbert?
he's that might actually be the
Is Justin
best
because
comp.
when I see them in uniform, I
The
I, I
number
sometimes
10.
think you could almost switch them and not. So
Yeah, no, I mean, Justin Herbert might be his best comp. 6'6", 235. He has an absolute rocket for an arm. He's more athletic than people give him credit for because of his long stride. He covers a lot of ground. This is his fourth year in the system up under DeBoer, but he's also going in his third year with Ryan Grubb as his offensive coordinator when you go back to their time together at Washington as well. So you look at all of those factors. He was the number two guy this past year. Not saying that means he stays, but I think that gives him the first foot in the door coming in against Indiana. All of those key factors I think play into it. And he's only 19 or yeah, 19. He's about to be 20. He's still physically maturing and developing. This dude could end up being 250 pounds as a quarterback. So yeah, I think it'll be interesting.
now, am I debating his topic as well, or do I just give my reasons why?
you
Keelan,
you
I'm
just go.
I'm just giving my okay,
yes, you can,
okay,
and then he gets a rebuttal.
okay. Well, this hurts me to do, but I think Keelan Russell is a great athlete, natural. I mean, if you're looking at a quarterback and you see the way the ball comes out of his hand, that pretty ball. He has a prettier ball than I think Alabama's last quarterbacks outside of maybe Bryce Young is the only guy that might have a prettier ball, maybe Tua. And so when you're looking at that, he is young, and just because you're young doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I think it's actually in his advantage him being so young, because one, Austin Mack has been in the offense. This is fourth year in the offense, and he hasn't even come close to being considered the starter. And so if I'm Keelan Russell, I'm going in and saying, well, he couldn't beat out Ty, he couldn't beat out Jalen. So what? Why can't he beat out me? Two, Keelan Russell is a amazing athlete. He's 6'3", 100 and I think it was like 95 pounds. Great size for a quarterback. On the smaller side, but 6'3", tall enough to do anything. He has a pretty ball, very accurate. But also, I think he has the intangibles that Austin Mack may be lacking up until this point in his career. I don't think if it was as far as it should be, in my opinion, for a fourth year guy and a second year guy, Austin Mack should be the quarterback, and it shouldn't even be a decision. And so the fact that it is a competition leans to Keelan Russell, in my opinion.
All right, now argue with yourself.
Wait, man.
Why is what you said not gonna happen? Or Simeon, you could argue with him. Or you can take up your guy. You want to take up your guy's case?
Man, give me Austin Mack.
Why? Why, Sim? Why is Austin Mack the man?
Man, one, because dude, he has things you can't teach. You can't teach 6'6", 235. You can't. But one, also, he has the leadership skills. The players love him. He has taken all the players love him. Coach DeBoer and Coach Grubb sought him one of the few players that they sought to come from Washington to Alabama, and that means something, especially with how the Washington players have been treated and favored outside of maybe Noah Rogers. If you talk about Jeremy Bernard and Parker Brailsford, those have
Noah
been the
Carter.
best. Did I say Noah Rogers? I'm sorry, Noah Carter. And so Parker Brailsford and Jeremy Bernard were, I would say, the two best players, consistent players in DeBoer's era, and that Washington guys. And so therefore, if you can put that on Mack should be one of the best players, if not the best player on this team.
X.
I like it. See, now when I compared Austin Mack to Justin Herbert, when I look at Keelan Russell, I see Jaden Daniels. Tall, lean body. Keelan Russell is an athlete that is playing quarterback. In my opinion, he is a taller version of what Bryce Young was, and we know how great Bryce Young was, and more athletic. So that's what I think you get out of Keelan Russell. Bryce sat a year, played a little bit, didn't play much behind Mac Jones in 2020, 2021. He comes in, he's a Heisman Trophy winner, and I think that's what you get with Keelan Russell. I think you have a future Heisman Trophy winner, a future number one overall pick in Keelan Russell. I like Austin Mack. Don't get me wrong. I think that dude is a potential first round draft pick. But if it's close, you go Keelan Russell because you have more time to build with him.
And see, that is so
No,
wrong.
you don't. I disagree with that. You don't
Go
have
ahead.
more time with Keelan. You don't have more time with Keelan because, okay, if he is everything that he said that we have said he is, Keelan Russell is gone after next year anyway, and so would Mac. And so, in my opinion, you're getting 2 years max with either guy because Austin Mack out of eligibility the year next year. Keelan Russell's leaving as a junior if he gets to start this year. and he might leave as the starter next year anyway. But I don't. I disagree with that part.
Yeah. Here's I guess the question I'd ask from the quarterback. When you look at that really quick, and then we're going to get to these other guys around the SEC. Quarterback wise, um, I hear people say Keelan has the highest ceiling, but Mac may be more ready. And I hate the thought that a coach would play another guy because he's trying to keep him on the roster and he'll have him potentially longer. But I know that these coaches they have to make decisions and stuff now that they
Yeah,
used to not have to make. No other level, like a high school coach knows for the most part, uh, he gonna have the quarterback that's really good as a sophomore that doesn't beat out the junior. He knows he's gonna have him, for the most part. But in the pros, you have a contract. In college, you really don't know, and I hope that
yeah,
that doesn't come into play. And so my hope is that uh, one of them clearly is the best quarterback. I really do. I hope one of them is clearly the best quarterback. And to me, the X factor in all of this is how good uh, Jet ends up being. Because if Jet ends up being a dude, I think it hurts Mac
mm,
because they know that they have a guy if Mac transfers. But on the other side of that, if Mac's clearly the guy and Jet's good, then they don't sweat losing Keelan as much. Right? So I mean,
yeah,
so to me, the X factor in all of this and how they handle it may be Jet.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
if Jet's good, this coaching staff feels so much better about the upcoming season and next year because they now have a
yeah,
guy that they think they can win with,
Yeah.
just like they feel
yeah.
about Keelan right now before the season started last year. So that's the interesting part. Now, with that said,
Mm.
uh, we're not going to go through all of the SEC teams. Um, I saw a ranking. I cannot remember who it was, and I'm going to give you the way they gave it and see what you guys thought. It was Texas. I mean, Texas. Arch Manning. It was Arch Manning, Trinidad, uh, Stockton, Levitt, Byron Brown at Auburn, Reed at Texas A&M, Mateer at Oklahoma, and I cannot remember who the ninth guy was. Um, and then it was Keelan Russell at number 10. So they had Alabama's starting quarterback. We just talked about our two dudes. They had them number 10. Um, is number 10 too low, regardless of which guy? Who would be the ninth guy? Think through that.
Lenora Sellers, maybe.
Yeah, I about
It
to say
was Sellers
Sellers.
was in there.
Sellers.
Sellers was in there. Yeah, Sellers was in there. So, uh, so is that fair? Is Alabama's quarterback the 10th best quarterback?
I
Talent wise,
no,
absolutely not. Zero starts.
No, I'm not talking about stars. I'm talking
No, no,
about
but I
if you were having to pick, if you could pick this list of quarterbacks based on what you know about them and their performance in the upcoming year, would you pick these nine guys before? Would you take based on performance any of these guys over Stockton, over Trinidad, over Brown, over Levitt, over Reed, over Manning, over Mateer and Sellers? The only one, guys, Stockton is a baller.
yeah,
Trinidad,
dog.
Trinidad can flat out play QB. Levitt was good at Arizona State,
2 years
Arizona.
ago.
Huh?
2 years ago.
He was hurt some this year, but
Yeah, he was hurt this
I
past
also
year.
heard
Yeah.
he quit on his team, so
ain't gonna. I mean, they don't mean he ain't good, right? Byron Brown, we know what he's capable of. Reed had an unbelievable year. Manning could take a leap, man, and because the way he played in their bowl game, I was like, whoa,
He finished the season
we don't want
strong.
that dude. I mean, he was running
if
it,
he
throwing it.
picks up where he left off and continues to grow, he's the number one pick in next year's
Yeah.
draft.
And Mateer is inconsistent, but can ball too.
When he's on, he's on.
So
I
would
mean,
you? Samuel
I,
Pittman said number 10 way too low.
I don't know if you can take one of our guy over any of those guys because we've seen what they can do. We know it. Lenore Sellers, when he's right,
He
might be
has
the most
a
talented
decent team
quarterback.
around him.
Yeah, when Lenore Sellers is good, he might be the most talented quarterback in college football.
Let me ask you this: would you have taken Bryce Young, non-starting sophomore, over these guys?
No.
No,
So is number 10 the right ranking?
I
Yeah.
think
For
I think it's
right
okay.
now, I
Isn't
think so.
that is that
As of
scary?
right if today,
But
right now,
here's
today.
the thing. It doesn't mean Austin Mack and Keelan Russell aren't good. We just don't know who they are as
Don't
a
even know who's
complete
don't even know who's going to be the starting
player.
quarterback. Like, don't even.
That's the thing.
And they had that. Now they had number 10. They had Keelan as the number 10 guy. So that's it.
They just
I
ain't.
just thought that was interesting though. But to me, I don't know that we've ever had that many good players coming back at the quarterback position.
I mean, you felt like it was the same thing last year. Ty at the start of last year was anywhere from set. Like I think the highest I saw him going into the season was like number 7 or 8.
Yeah.
So if you get a little bit, if a healthy Ty Simpson might be a healthy Ty Simpson for an entire season is probably the number one pick in the draft.
Yeah. And then my question, and Pete Fields kind of hit it a little bit. Starting at 10, regardless of which guy starts, where do they end up at?
I say whoever, and this is my bold take for the season, whoever's the starting quarterback for Alabama, I have them as the high, not the Heisman winner, but in New York. So one of the top 2 quarterbacks in
You
the
got my
nation.
eyes bucked on that one, baby. Ooh.
That's what I think
That's
because
your
I'm not.
bold prediction. That's a
That's
bold.
that's my bold prediction because if you talk about if if this offensive
If it
line
clicks,
if this offensive line clicks, you know we have Ryan Williams, Lottie Brooks, Noah Rogers.
Right.
So they
so
all
there's
a
You
lot of
got my juices flowing, Simeon, and all this stuff. Let me ask you this: Pettis, what was his name? Penix had 5,000 yards. How many yards Alabama starting quarterback has? I predicted Ty would have 4,000 yards in of
30
like total offense and 40 total touchdown, and he was ahead of that pace
before
until
he
he
got hurt.
got
before
hurt.
he got hurt.
I think
How
it's
many
gonna be
yards does the starting quarterback at Alabama have passing? Because Ty ended
Ty
up
is
with
banged up as a
3,600.
39.
Huh?
Ty was 52 yards short of 4,000.
I think it'll be around 4,000, but I think it'll look better just because of no. When I say look
I
better,
know.
it just Ty Simpson had to. It was a one man show, and I think the 4,000 yards that this quarterback had is just Passing or rushing as well.
I was just talking about passing.
Yeah, I think around that 4,000, 4,200, because I think Alabama will have a much better run game than than
So
they did this last year.
we'll have more drives that don't go 3 and out because we get some of those extended drives. Okay. All right.
40, yeah, around 4,200, 30, mid 30s on touchdowns.
All right. Buy, sell, hold. If you could take any of these quarterbacks, I said you wouldn't take. We said this, but now buy, sell, hold is a little different. Buy, sell, hold is uh, I may take one of these guys my starter, but I might keep Mac and what you call it as a sell and a hold. So buy, sell, hold, uh, and you can only take 3 guys out of this. And our top 10 is Alabama's quarterback. Okay, whether it be Russell or uh, Mac on this list. Who you
You
buying?
can
Who you
only
selling? Who you holding?
you can only have 3 guys that you're buying. You know what I'm saying?
No, no. You buying one,
Okay.
you're selling one, and you're holding one.
Buy Trinidad Chambliss. That's the best quarterback. Yeah. Sell.
There's
Uh.
Reed,
uh
Brown, Mateer, Levitt,
sell.
Stockton.
Sell Sam Levitt and hold the Alabama quarterback.
That's not bad. That's probably what I would have gone with if I went first. But I would buy Arch Manning. I would sell Byron Brown, and I would hold Bama's quarterback.
Dang, which one you holding?
Uh,
Do I have to say mine?
No, you don't.
no,
Okay.
I'm probably holding Mac.
Mac 10. Mac
You
10.
holding who?
Mac.
Oh wow. My buy,
He's my front runner.
my my sale is easy. I'm selling Mateer. Too inconsistent. Um, I like Arch Manning and I like Trinidad. Um, I think Arch takes a big jump and is the best quarterback. I think Sark hurt. I as good an offense coordinator as he was, I think he hurt Manning with the way he used him and played him and called
Absolutely.
games. Um, and I'm not sure Trinidad can repeat. I'm not sure. I want to see because they still had Kiffin's offense, even though they didn't have Kiffin. So I don't know what that new coordinator is going to do, and was it the offense or is it him as a player? Whew. And I'm holding since it's longer term. I'm a hold Russell because I'm not playing. I'm not playing him. If I had to play right now, I would buy Mac and sell Russell. If I had to do that, but I don't have to. I don't have to right now because I got one of these dudes. I think Simeon, are you saying uh are you saying that you think Mac's ceiling is higher than Keelan's?
Mm,
I think it's kind of
it's different. It's
You
I think
gonna
different.
it's
actually
different.
ask him? Cause that's the man crush.
Right, right. Here's the thing. I think Mac is Justin Herbert. So I just think it's about I don't with
It's
Mac and
what you
Keelan to
want.
me it's what is it? 6 of these, half a dozen of the other. I think
Yeah.
they're just different, but I think their ceilings are probably the same. So I'm
Yeah.
backtracking. I don't know which one. I'd take the Alabama quarterback on a whole right now.
Yeah, I would say
Hey,
Austin Mack.
we're gonna have to do buy
Similar.
sell at the end of spring. See if these guys jump up in our buy category.
Oh,
All right. Anything else y'all got before we get out of here?
Oh, hey,
Remember,
congratulations to
by the time we have our next Houston huddle, um, spring practice has started. So y'all got any hot takes other than Simeon saying the starting quarterback at Alabama is going to win the Heisman?
I didn't say win the Heisman.
Be in New
I
York.
I said one of the Heisman finalists.
nah, uh, Kevin Riley leaves spring as the starting running back.
What? I'm sorry. What was that? Maniacs? Did y'all hear that? Hey, listen.
It's at the
Xavier, you serious? Are you serious about that hot take? And
What's his
hey,
hot take?
listen,
You
he
gotta
could
stand on
really.
it.
He was the
You gotta stand
best.
on it.
He was the best running back we had last year till he got
Yeah,
hurt.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
I thought he was the best running back we had. So why come he couldn't? I give you that. I just wasn't. Sarah Penn said he did a double take too. I just wasn't expecting that.
No.
Here's my hot
That's a
take.
good hot take. That's a good
Here's my
hot take.
hot take. Y'all ready? Coleman Williams is in New York.
Oh, we gonna have two players in New York. That's what I'm talking about.
Ryan Coleman Williams will be in New York. And he's gonna come out in spring ball ready to go.
Congratulations to Ryan Kelly on a great NFL career. He retired today.
Oh wow. Ryan Kelly retired today. Uh Bradley Bozeman
Well,
retired
yep,
week or so ago. So yep. So
Got to
10-year
replenish.
career.
The board has to replenish. You got to start replenishing.
we got to start getting some guys up in the league. Come on, DeBoer. All right, guys. Closing thoughts. Closing thoughts.
Roll Tide. God is good. Alabama's gonna take care of business tomorrow. Gonna take care of the Auburn Tigers. Austin Mack, starting quarterback. Clock it here, March 6, 2026.
Uh, hey, Roll Tide, congratulations once again to the women's team on winning their first round game against the Tennessee Lady Volunteers. Uh, Bama Rose tomorrow finishes with a 2-0 win against Auburn this year. Stephen Pearl is on the hot seat after tomorrow. That's a hot take, baby.
All right. And hey, remember, if you've been listening to this, you're if you're listening to the playback, Alabama has taken care of the Auburn Tigers. Yes, swept the Iron Bowl, and that's what I'm talking about right there. And then spring practice, if you listen to the playback, it's tomorrow. Alabama begins their journey toward number what? 19?
19.
Number 19. And it starts with Coleman Williams and company owning things. Great things ahead. So far, looking forward to it. This has been the Houston Huddle. Three voices, every angle, beyond the headline. That's Simeon Houston. That's Xavier Houston. I'm Martin Houston. Like, follow, share, tell your family and friends about it,
And subscribe.
and subscribe on YouTube, and also like, follow, and share the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier and Simeon. And remember this: trust in the Lord always, lean not your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths. Roll Tide, everybody! For the Houston Huddle, we'll be back on the next episode. Roll Tide.